Hello, my name is Naomi, and I'm going to be talking about my simulated child's development. So, stage one, prenatal. So, this is his birth certificate. His name is Mateo, and he's a boy. And this is his favorite stuffed animal, Foxy. Our teratogen is Rh factor incompatibility. That basically means that I have Rh negative blood type and he has Rh positive. We found out that it was passed down from our partner, and this means that my body will create antibodies that will go against his blood type. And it's not good because it can cause heart disease and intellectual disability, damage to his organs, or even miscarriage. Stage two, infancy and toddlerhood. So when he was born, his APGAR score was 7. Mateo was in good physical condition, but due to the teratogen, he may have suffered from lack of oxygen in the womb. But again, since he's a firstborn, it was rare. So the reason he could have scored 3 points lower was from heart rate, respiratory effort, and color due to the lack of oxygen. But he's still good, in good physical condition. So by now he's 11 months. He's rolling from side to side and lifting himself up with his arms and crawling. But one that stood out to me the most was that he was able to stand by himself, which was really exciting. And I expect to see him grabbing a pencil or a crayon soon and taking a step from like taking steps. And I also hope he starts jumping and trying to walk on his tiptoes. Stage 3, early childhood. So Piaget's concept of adaptation is when children make schemes or things that explain and make sense of experiences. An example of this was when we got a new duck called Ducky, and here's an image explaining that example. So this is our pet Ducky at age 2. Mateo would look at Ducky and then look at all the other birds and assume that they were all duckies. But by age 6, he reached accommodation and he found out that only ducks were yellow and they have longer beaks and make quacking noises, but they were still a type of bird. Stage 4, early and middle childhood. So there are different fine and motor skills, but the one I'll be talking about is from this art piece. So I can tell that this is from age 2 because he was finally able to hold a paintbrush. His strokes are uneven, and he's still experiencing his motor skills. But now in art 2, at age 4, he's able to draw shapes and lines. And I would say this is kind of like a tadpole body because the head's huge and the body is just proportionate. But I can tell he's age 4 pure because he's barely gaining awareness of the world. And that's why the tadpole person looks kind of weird. Stage 5, education and cognitive development. So there are 4 educational philosophies: traditional classroom, constructivist classroom, social constructivist, and cooperative learning. I would like for Mateo to be in the social constructivist classroom because I like the idea of students learning with their peers and with the teacher and being able to construct his own knowledge based on the curriculum. Stage 6, adolescence to adulthood. So due to Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, there's identity versus role confusion, and this is basically when young adults start to form their own personal identities but might get stuck along the way. And he went through identity moratorium is when he's gathering information about his goals, or they have one but they haven't acted upon it. So here he's talking about how he went to orientation and he wasn't really sure about his major. So that means he wasn't doing enough research to make sure that that's what he wanted to do. But later he solved this problem by finally doing the research and talking to his friends, talking to me, talking to his advisors, and he finally decided that he'd become a detective. So he was able to gather that information and finally make his goals from there. Some cool facts that I noticed while he was growing up was that his growth spurt did hit at 12 and a half, and also a landmark of physical maturity is a deepening of the voice. So we did see that. It was kind of funny. And then we were able to help him form a bicultural identity so he can appreciate both the subculture and dominant and have positive emotions towards both. So this is his report card. Some things we already talked about. His favorite color is green. He started walking around 12 months, which is a week later than most babies, but that's still fine. He used to sleep in the same room as me, but in a bassinet, so same room, but a different bed. And here's our ducky explanation. And then his first smile was 7 weeks, and one wish for him that we had was to be compassionate, understanding, caring, tender, tolerant, and warm. And we made sure that we displayed that as he was growing up so he knew how to manage those emotions. His tooth loss didn't impact or delay his language development, and he had an imaginary friend named Tree, which was a dinosaur and loved ice cream. And this is a picture of Mateo at 7 years old. He's holding an award. And yeah, that's basically all for my simulated child. It was fun. Bye.